welcome back to stage 2 of this big submarine. So we're just going to crack on and do a little bit of glassing to join these two together, and I'm going to speed up the film so you don't have to watch it for very long. Okay, here's the hull, and as you can see we've joined it together. Can't really see where that is, but as you can see a couple of marks there. We haven't quite finished it yet, and I've put in the ballast tank roughly in a position. I haven't actually glassed in these bulkheads at the moment, but they've just been put in just to roughly show you where they're going to go. But at the moment, as I say, they're not glassed in at the moment. So that's the next stage. Is what I've got to do, and this ballast tank is almost dead central in the centre of the hull. You can see we've got some pretty large holes here, so that'll allow the boat to fill up pretty quickly. Okay, next thing for me to do is to glass in these bulkheads and tidy up the bottom of the hull with a bit of filler and all the rest of it, and then we'll come back and show you what that is in a few seconds. What I've got to do now is at the rear end of the upper hull, we've got to cut this off because this is going to be the bit which surrounds the prop shaft at the rear end, and in case it's the prop shaft bearing and that sort of stuff. So and then the rest of this is going to be removable, so you can take the lid off and show your mates or whatever else what's going on inside. So next stage we've got to cut this off. I'm just going to do that and fill this bit in which I cut off, this lump here. I killed a lot in, and then redo this frontal part here. Obviously, so I've cut that off now. What I want to try and do is make that a nice even bulbous shape, which I'm going to do before we put the pins in, because as you probably realise, we haven't got any pins in the lower hull because we've got to make sure this all fits together well. So that's what I'm going to be doing in a minute, and trying to get it all glassed up because it's the weather's got cold again, freezing cold. So let's crack on. after a good night, everything seems to have gone off, and we've now got all the glasses set really hard, which is great, and we've got a good day today. So what we're going to do in this final piece for this one, I think, and then we'll sort of wrap up this stage, is to fill all these glassed areas like that, make that all nice and smooth. Same with here, all the bulkhead pieces here, make those all really nice and smooth with some marine filler. And I'll show you the type of stuff that I use. Just have it up here. This is the stuff I'm going to be using, which is Tierson's marine filler, which is absolutely excellent. It's not porous or anything like that, so it's completely waterproof. So what we're going to do is we're going to, as you see, we've completely completed the end of this now. The whole thing is looking pretty good, and now what we're going to do is we're going to fill all these edges now with marine filler and smooth them all off so they'll really look kind of nice. And that will kind of complete the top and bottom holes, and then we'll show you how we're going to fit the two together, how they're going to fix together, and then we'll crack on with the conning tower, but I think that'll be in the next stage. Okay, now we've done the filling, which I've done, and I'm just going to show you what happened with that filling and the sort of bit of sanding. It's not totally finished at the moment, it's roughly sanding, and what I've done is I've sprayed it with a bit of red oxide just to pick up any imperfections, so I know where it is. I'll come back and finish that later, but I'll just show you what it kind of looks like now. Then what we've got to do is we've got to crack on and do the pins and how we're going to connect the holes together. I'm just going to show you that. I've done a little bit of work on that to preempt it, and then once we've connected all those two together, we can then finally shape it perfectly so it all looks kind of nice with the run lines before we start on anything like the conning tower. So let's just have a quick look at the what I've done. Okay, that's what the front looks like, and as you can see, that's not bad, is it? Not too bad. It's not totally finished yet, but as you can see, what I've done is I've put that section on. We'll come back to that in a minute. That's roughly just laid on. And there's the other rear section, which I've kind of fluted it a bit here, a little bit more, just and the side bit which I've finished off there. There we go. That's what it kind of looks like. So it's beginning to look like an old submarine now. So we'll show you what what the connection is going to look like to keep this on. Okay, what we've done here is we've put a couple of brackets on here, a couple of brass brackets on here, and a sort of a hook bracket on the front there, which is going to hook into the front of the boat on the end, and then these two are going to be secured with screws here. Well, this is the bit where the conning tower is going to be, so we don't really want to get that off very often. You know, it may come off, but we just don't want to get it off very often. So, so you can see the little kip on the front of there I put on there, and then I've got to put a couple of more brackets here, and the rest of the pins in the hull, which is what I'm going to be cracking on with now. So I'll get on with that, and I'll come back in a minute and see how it looks. Right, just showing you two of the pins I've actually put in here, and what I've done is I've put an aluminium tube in here to take the pins, and I've just glassed those in on both sides. And what I recommend is that these tubes are a little bit bigger, obviously, than the pins, otherwise you won't get them in or out. And there's the two other brass angle brackets to take the top of the hull. And what I've done here, as you can see, I've actually drilled out the flange here and put in the bit of aluminium tube, and it's really set there to be glassed in. Once it's been glassed in, then I can actually just file it off. See, there's the real one. And then on the upper hull, these are the pins, and you can see I've just these are 2mm brass pins, and we just put them in there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to glass those in and then hold them into place with a little clamp or something like that. And there's the rear there, ready to be glassed in.